Hey guys, this is Kevin again from Philippintastic. Was working on a new video. It's still in the editing phase, but I figured since it's close to Halloween, I'd tell the story as it just happened to me within the last hour. So my wife Joji, she left for work around 12 because she works night shift, and I decided to go down to the store to get a snack. And when I opened the door, right up in the corner sill where the hinges are, right up on the top, there was a white discoloration, and I immediately recognized that to be like an egg sac, like a spider egg sac. And so yesterday, when I was outside, I left the apartment, I saw this crumpled up spider on the ground in our hallway, and I just figured it had been killed or it was dead and somebody would come clean it up. But apparently not. It's the same one that I had an experience with today. And so, anyways, as I was leaving the apartment and I saw this egg sac up in the door, I was looking around first to see if the mother was still around, but as I was doing that, I noticed all the spiders were crawling out of the egg sac already. So I don't know how long it had been there. It couldn't have been there for more than a day, because we would have noticed it. And so here I am, frantically running through the apartment. I ran and grabbed a can of bug spray, came back, I shut the door, and it was like a horror movie where all these little spiders were crawling in through the gap between the door and the doorwell, just like an explosion. So I'm like freaking out and like spraying them with this bug spray, and then they're already crawling on the walls, so I'm like slapping them with my shoe. And then I open up the door and just go straight for the nest and spray the nest as much as I can to make sure there's no more of this explosion, and spray that down. And when I do that, I noticed on the top of the doorway, on the outside of the apartment, all these little spiders scatter all over the place. Some of them started jumping out at me from the door, and like they were hanging by their web, or their web streams or whatever. So they're jumping out and they're coming down on their strings, trying to escape. And then I'm like spraying all that, and then I'm looking down at the ground, stomping on them, and I noticed like down the hallway, they're all over the hallway. And so I'm like spraying all over the floor and the walls, just freaking out. And it's so late at night, I can't call anybody, right? No exterminator's gonna show up at my house at 12:30 at night. And I was just freaking out. And so I managed to get the situation under control. I sprayed all over along the door frame, the entrance to our door, around the hallway, like the baseboards. If I saw any more crawling around, I was smacking them with my shoe. I'm still actually seeing some of them in here. I think I got most of them, but it was kind of an exciting battle. And so as I left, right after I finished this like spray bottle, this insect spray fight, I'm walking outside to continue to go get my snacks, and then I figure when I come back I'll clean up. And I looked up in the ceiling, and the ceiling down the hallway is like in the main center is regular height, and then it comes upward on both sides, I guess for like ventilation or something. So there's like these holes, like little areas where there's no lighting, and it's the perfect place to see something scary. And that's exactly what happened. I think it was the mother, maybe, And just for context, let me see if I can find a good one. This is kind of what she looks like. So not a very friendly looking spider. Apparently a huntsman. They're called a huntsman spider. I had another photo I found that kind of gives you an idea of their size. Let me see if I can find that one. Anyways, as I said, as I'm leaving, I see this thing up in the ceiling crawling. Here we go. This one's a good. So here's a picture. You can see it on the wall. It's about the size of a clock, like a kitchen clock you might hang on the wall. Pretty nasty looking critter. And after I just sat there and like completely destroyed her nest and all of her babies, to look up and see that she was right there watching me do this kind of freaked me out. And so I was like, get out of here, because I had scooped out the remnants of the nest and put it in a bag, and I was running downstairs to throw it away because I didn't want them, if there was any left, any of the babies left, I didn't want them crawling out like on my hands and stuff. And so I was like, I ignored her. I kept going downstairs, went and threw the stuff away, tried to catch my breath, and got my snacks. And then on the way back upstairs was kind of a scary haunted house scenario. It felt like arachnophobia, like at any minute this thing that had like the wingspan of a frisbee was going to jump out at me like one of those creatures from Aliens when they come out of the eggs and like land on my face or something. So I came back upstairs. I'm constantly looking up once I get to my hallway, because we're on the third floor. I'm looking up in the rafters or the cutaways in the ceiling. I didn't see her, and I was kind of freaked out about that, because when I did see her, she was very slow moving, because maybe she's so big. But that offset me a little bit, so I was really scared walking down the hallway. I was looking in every little crevice and corner. And then from the corner of my eye, on the floor from the neighbor's door, another one came out. And this one was not as big. It was probably like this, had the size of a cell phone, so like maybe about the size of your hand. But it seemed pretty pissed off at me, and it charged at me like 3 times. And I had set the bug spray down by the door when I left, because I was going to come back and like spray one more time to make sure I'd gotten everything. And this thing was like, after it charged me, went back over to the door and was sitting right by the bug spray. So I was like, what is this thing doing? It obviously knows that I just got rid of their spawn. I think I guess it was the male, because it was the smaller. And so after it charged me a couple times, I managed to like get around it and flank it, and then I rushed into the door, shut the door, put some towels underneath the gap between the bottom of the door and the floor, and to make sure that it couldn't get in. I think it was like a little bit too thick to crawl in here, but I wasn't taking any chances at that point. So I was really kind of hyperventilating once I got back in here. And then when I did get back in here, I still noticed there were some of the babies crawling around the apartment. So I've done like several sweeps with my sandals, stomping them out. But the bug spray is still outside by the door. So I'm sure people will wonder what the hell happened on all these like baby spider corpses. So hopefully in the morning that spider will be gone, or those 2 spiders will be gone, and I'll tell management that they need to like do a sweep and find out where they're staying, because as I was doing research on my phone about the Huntsman spider, apparently they're not really, they're not supposed to be aggressive unless you like encroach on them, which is exactly what I did. And so now I'm worried that that thing is like sitting outside the door. Well, like where's my egg sac? And like who knows how long it'll sit there. So I'm gonna have to send my wife a message and tell her to make sure she keeps her eyes above her as she's walking down the hallway, entering the building. But I was reading, as I was reading this, they can bite you. I don't think that they're poisonous and that can like kill you, but it will hurt you if they bite. And I was trying to figure out how long would these things stick around. Like I was like, well, will the male and the female, will they hang out here until they figure out that the nest is gone or the babies are gone, or are they going to just like set up shop here and like try again? And as I was reading, I found out that they tend to live in these colonies of like up to 150 spiders. And so that's why I was trying to kill every last one that I've seen in here, because I don't want them finding a place in here and setting up a nest. I can only imagine like one of them, one or two of them, like setting a nest up inside my couch or something like that, to where we can't see them, but they just come out at nighttime and like, snack on whatever flies are in the apartment, or like the geckos that are hanging out in the hallway. And so I just wanted to get rid of all of them so we don't have to deal with that. So yeah, kind of a freaky experience. I'm kind of afraid to go asleep. I don't think the big spiders will be able to get in here, but I've read stories and seen pictures of spiders that when you're asleep crawl inside your ear or in your nose or in your mouth, and that's a big nope for me. So I'm gonna have to keep my eyes open. Hopefully tomorrow the landlord will do something like a spray, or send the maintenance guy through the hallways in the apartments to make sure there aren't any more critters that are living here rent free. But anyways, like I said, kind of a good Halloween story to share. And to be honest, man, like that thing, that's huge. Imagine if you were to kick it, it'd probably feel like you were kicking a softball. It's that big, and like definitely 2 hands width as far as its legs spread out. So I mean, seeing that thing crawling on the ceiling after I killed its entire family, scary. Anyways, keep on the lookout for stuff like that if you're visiting the Philippines, because it will come across, I'm sure. We live in the city, and that's happening here. So if you live out in a provincial area, like out in farmland and stuff, you're going to see lots of those on top of lizards and snakes and what else, who knows. But anyway, stay safe. I'll have the next video up and running hopefully tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you're enjoying my stuff. And enjoy the rest of your week. Salamat.